Apparently, I want to keep this channel as small as possible, so let's talk about an anime not many people seem to have seen. Hola! Just a little disclaimer, this is more or less exactly the same review I posted on my anime list, so nobody can claim me and stuff. When I was looking through the seasonal anime list from last winter, I think this thing caught my eye. Why? Because I speak German, and when I read the name of one of the main characters, Miguel Offenbarung Dunkelheit, Miguel Offenbarung Dunkelheit, I just had to laugh. And so I watched it. It's based on a manga I haven't read, so I can say anything about the anime as an adaptation, but as a standalone work. I'll say it right now, this was a decent and rather wholesome anime. It has gotten some criticism, which I couldn't really understand, but more on that later. So what is this anime about? The main character, Koyuki, aka Gestöber, is an average boring guy. He just wants to live a normal life and study to reach his dream, which as far as I can remember, it's been a while, is becoming a teacher. But yeah, crazy Chunibyo kids won't leave him alone. If you're watching this channel, I think I don't have to explain what Chunibyo is. Anyways, that's basically the premise. That's what the story is about. And so each episode you kind of see the characters interact with the main character and drag him into their shenanigans. And each episode is more or less the same, like it would start out with Koyuki just wanting to have his peace, and then one of the guys jumps in and, just distracts him from studying or whatever the fuck. And then at the end of the episode, they actually had a really good time, and that's basically what's happening. So again, very simple, right? So Koyuki usually tries not to get involved with these people. He pities them and thinks they're childish, and also the reason why his grades dropped. So he basically blames them for everything that's going wrong in his life. The thing though is that these guys are actually doing well in their own lives. And it's not like they want to make Koyuki's life a living hell because they don't like him. In fact, they actually just want to be friends with him. And throughout the series, Koyuki doesn't seem to have any real friends, like besides the Chunibyo kids. So he doesn't have any friends that he actually chose himself. And as it turns out, his grades were never really good to begin with. So who's Chunibyo now and imagining things? And with his plain personality, no hobbies or interests, like he even has a nice guy moment when he's like cursing good-looking people for no reason. Like, who would want to be friends with a guy like that? So I guess it's the other way around, like the Chunibyo kids pitied him. So without these crazy kids, he would just be a lonely, boring-ass guy who's also not very good at studying. And despite all that, he can't seem to appreciate people trying to be there for him, who actually put effort into making his life more fun. As we all know, carefree days won't last forever, right? He thinks he's better than everyone without even realizing it, probably. And he also doesn't seem to actually care about anybody. Like, if he hurts somebody, he will make it up to them just so he won't feel guilty about it. And yet he acts as if he didn't need to be surrounded by these childish idiots. Tips Fedora. Even though he is the real child, not appreciating and accepting people. Because unlike Koyuki, the Chunibyo kids are actually well aware of what they're doing. And yeah, not even once did he wish for more normal friends. He only wishes to be left in peace. Like, he's never like, oh, I wish I had somebody to do this and that, just normal friendship stuff. So he's completely self-involved. So not a lot really stands out here at first. But I like the fact that if you think about it, the weird kids were portrayed as the more normal or sane ones, actually. Koyuki is a boring guy, but he seems bitter, even at his young age. And please keep in mind that being bitter is not the same as being depressed. He's just constantly annoyed at everything and everyone. You know, he basically lives the life of a single parent of 5 children or something, who doesn't get a second to themselves. But the other guys, on the other hand, they want to live life to the fullest. And involving Koyuki is kind of like their gift to him. They know that life is hard and that it's going to be even harder, which is why they don't want to give up on their inner child just yet. Which is something that Koyuki seems to be more than willing to do. Society, especially in Japan, can be very unforgiving. And while the Chunibyo kids try to change the world, Koyuki won't even waste a single thought on things like that. And also, Koyuki is literally the only person in the show who actually despises these kids. The rest of the class just laugh with them and go along with their fantasies. And Koyuki didn't even realize this until much later on in the show. He just assumed that he and the other classmates, like the normal classmates, felt the same about the crazy kids. And you know, each time a new weird Chunibyo kid gets introduced, Koyuki sees this as a once-in-a-lifetime chance for Miguel, you know, the first Chunibyo friend he had, to make a friend finally. He feels so sorry for Miguel, or not sorry, he just thinks Miguel is so pitiable that if there's another Chunibyo kid, oh my god, what an opportunity to befriend someone. Although that is not the case at all. If anything, Koyuki should be thinking that way about himself, since nobody would even acknowledge his existence if it weren't for Miguel and the other guys. So at first, this seems like a basic-ass comedy about annoying children, but in my eyes, it turned out to be more than that. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I don't agree with the people who say that this is just a show about annoying kids. I think it takes strong people to act like themselves, even when they're adults, you know? Which is why I think Koyuki is such a weak person, because he like gave up on his whole youth before he even like had to. I mean, and the Chunibyo kids don't even think like that they have to ever. Like maybe they know that they have to tone it down a bit, but you know. So what else? The comedy was fine. Obviously, depending on your humor, you might find this hilarious or stupid. Humor is highly subjective after all. And as is often the case, a lot of the humor got a bit lost in translation, I think, like wordplays and such. But personally, I had to laugh quite a few times. I rated this a 6 out of 10, and keep in mind, a 6 is still above average, so it's not bad. So it's completely decent. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but to some, yes, definitely I would. It's not very good or original, but you know, that's okay too. It's good to relax sometimes. And by the way, I'm wondering if this had been girls, maybe this would have been more popular, but I don't know, it is just a thought. So yeah, I guess this week I just wanted to kind of defend this anime and tell you why I don't think it's as bad as some people make it out to be. So yeah, I'd like to know everyone's opinion, if you've seen it, that is, or if you plan on watching it now that you've seen this video. Influencer. Alright, that is it for this week though. So please enjoy your youth, please reach your dreams. Alright, that is it. Bye bye.